Joining us on the broadcast is TV Mohandas Pai, one of Bangalore's best-known citizens, chairperson at Erin Capital. With us also is Sanjay Hegde, senior advocate in the Supreme Court. We've got Syed Abbas, political analyst. Brajesh Kalappa joins us, and we've got Bhaskar Rao as the spokesperson of the BJP. I want to go across to Mohandas Pai first. Mr. Pai, politics aside, how do you as a citizen of Karnataka and Bangalore see this current crisis? The fact is that this land allocation happened at the time the BJP was in power. The fact also is for the Chief Minister to be taking such prime land just looks terrible optically. That just looks as very messed up. It also shows how messed up Karnataka politics is, where each person when they're in power is trying to scratch the back of the other, and that cycle continues regardless of which party is in power.
Well, Rahul, my view is, look, it happened much before he became the Chief Minister. That's what the news item says. It didn't happen after he became Chief Minister. If something had happened after the Chief Minister, you can accuse him of being directly implicated in what happened. Definitely, there's a conflict of interest. There seems to be some favoritism because if you look at the value and everything else, and if the Chief Minister says that his wife's land was encroached by MUDA and they did not know about it for many years, I think it's hard to believe, primarily because he's a very powerful man. He knows everybody in Mysore. His family is well known. And if a well-known politician's family, especially if he's been the Chief Minister, his wife's land is encroached by a government agency and all this happens, well, that is very hard to believe. But the fact is that from whatever we know, it happened before. So now it has become a controversy. And of course, the governor has given sanction to prosecute the Chief Minister. I think it has gone to the court. From what we hear, that the court has said is postponed to the 29th.
Do you think there's reason for Siddaramaiah to resign, or do you see this just as being a political face-off between the two prime parties there?
Well, I would say that we have to wait for the court's decision to see whether the court accepts that the prosecution will continue. If the court accepts the prosecution will continue, then I think being the tall leader that he has been before he became Chief Minister this time, he will have to consider stepping down. Let the court decide whether there's a genuine case, whether there is something that directly links him to any corruption, any undue influence or whatever it is, because he became CM from whatever we know after this whole thing happened.
Sanjay Hegde, the prime argument of the Congress is that the MUDA land was acquired illegally. Now you're listening to the likes of Mohandas Pai say, this is land that belongs, either he was Chief Minister or former Chief Minister at different points in time. The Mysore Urban Development Authority is highly unlikely to come and acquire land illegally without them knowing. So all this seems to be post-fact. We didn't know that MUDA was acquiring a land. When land is acquired, everyone whose land is being acquired, even if it's a common farmer, finds out. This just makes the Chief Minister look as if he has, his hand all soiled up. Do you think he's not acted properly? Do you think it would have been better for him to just step aside or at least offer this land back till this inquiry is completed?
Well, let's get the facts right. There was this land which was acquired by MUDA, and MUDA has this policy of giving developed land in return. The allegation seems to be that the developed land was much more than the entitlement. But all this happens at a time when Mr. Siddaramaiah is an opposition politician. So he obviously did not handle the file at that point of time. The question is there criminality which needs to be investigated? And after investigation, whether it has to be prosecuted. And the provision is specifically designed so that frivolous complaints do not get entertained. Normally, it is the government itself which gives permission, and in such cases, no permission would have been granted. But because it's the Chief Minister, the only person who can give permission is the governor. And the governor, to my mind, seems to have jumped the gun. He's done it peremptorily. Because the matter itself was being investigated by a commission of inquiry. Nobody waited for the commission of inquiry to return any findings. And the governor says, look, I can't be satisfied that there could be a clean investigation with anybody appointed by the Chief Minister. I think there are several presumptions made, and of course, the very grant of sanction is now being challenged in the courts. Mr. Pai is right that if the courts find against him, but the courts may or may not find against him on whether the sanction was properly granted or not. If after the grant of sanction is upheld and then an investigation commences and then a charge sheet comes, that's the stage when a call has to be made. Right now, we are being very presumptive and talking. We are jumping the gun if we are asking for resignation.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Sanjay Hegde, for joining us. You're saying we're asking for a resignation would be like jumping the gun just at this moment. Bhaskar Rao, you know, there are other cases that are pending sanction before the governor. And in these cases, the Lokayukt has found evidence, including against a minister in the NDA government, former Chief Minister Kumaraswamy. There's a senior BJP MP from Karnataka against whom there is a case. In those 12 matters, the governor hasn't given sanction. Very quickly, he gives sanction against Siddaramaiah. To anybody who's observing these facts from the outside, it will look as if the governor is giving sanction in one case, where there's an evidence provided by the Lokayukt, he hasn't given sanction in the other cases.
See, I will tell you, I am not holding any brief for or against the governor. What I can only tell you is in the present order which the governor has issued, he has given sanction for investigation under 17A of the Prevention of Corruption Act. He has not given sanction for prosecution. Prosecution comes later. First, it is investigation. Why is Congress party and Siddaramaiah running away from investigation?
No, but where are they running away from an investigation? They've asked for a judicial inquiry to happen, so a probe is happening.
See, when the law has been set into motion in a Lokayukta police station, cases are investigated under the Prevention of Corruption Act. Before they could start their investigation, it is very clear. The Lokayukta, which literally functions under the Chief Minister, dare not take action against the Chief Minister. So the complainant TJ Abraham approaches the governor and gives a complaint. Now governor has issued a 17A under Prevention of Corruption Act, investigate. So why is it that there is so much of protest, anger, saying that you want to run away? So many chief ministers have faced criminal cases and they have come out. Even Narendra Modi as chief minister has come out. Amit Shah has come out.
Syed Abbas, respond to what Bhaskar Rao is saying. He's saying all that the governor has done is he's given permission for an investigation to commence. Another investigation which reports into the chief minister is obviously not something that can be trusted because he has a conflict of interest. So let there be a probe. What's wrong with that? Why is the Congress jumping so much?
I will answer.
Yes.
I will answer.
Bhaskar
Bhaskar, namaskar, sir.
So
here is the point. May I answer? I'm very glad that Mr. Bhaskar Rao, who's been the former police commissioner of my beautiful city of Bengaluru, mentioned about the section 17. Respected sir, as per what happened in the Karnataka High Court today. The Honorable Lordship noted a point. Let me read it out to you. I'm very glad that you mentioned of section 17. But why, sir? Can you please tell me? As per the application of section 17 of the Prevention of Corruption Act, under which the Chief Minister has been charged, it is missing as noted by the court. Not just that, sir. 13 to 15.
Please read the last paragraph of the governor's notice.
There are pending petitions with the governor.
17A, it has already been done.
Why, sir, that a nitpicking of sorts have been taken place in the case of Siddaramaiah? Not just that. Let me bring to your notice. Sara Mahesh is your alliance partner of the JDS. GT Devegowda, Manje Gowda, Vishwanath of your party, sir. Not just him, Ramdas of your party. They're all compensated under the same MUDA scam. So if you say there is a MUDA scam, wouldn't you agree that you are complicit of the crime? All your leaders,
let investigation take place, no?
Along with the BJP leaders, Ramadas,
let investigation take place.
Sir, my question is, why the duplicity and hypocrisy? The fact of the matter, we need to understand why is governor acting this way, sir?
Let investigation take place.
Bhaskar, allow me to continue.
Okay, Rajesh Kalappa, sir, what do you think is most likely to happen in the High Court towards the end of the month when this case comes up for hearing again. You know, what the governor is saying is, let there be investigation. That's all the governor is saying. Let there be an investigation. Let the facts come out.
No, see, I can tell you as a lawyer that not much is going to come of this, of the court proceedings, except that, you know, since the governor is a very high constitutional authority, he, you know, the court is unlikely to stay the proceedings. That is most likely to happen. But really, what happens in court is immaterial and honestly irrelevant, because any political party is trying to make an impact on the electorate. And I think as far as the electorate is concerned, I think everybody in Karnataka is very clear of the fact that Mr. Siddaramaiah has had an untainted 40 years in public life. Now, allegations are being made again, leveled against his wife. Now, honestly, like I told you earlier, it's not possible for a person to have, after having not brought much money home, to now say that his wife has been given some property by her brother, to say that, no, I'm going to surrender it to government. It's not possible. According to me, sociologically, it's not possible. Politically, it's not possible. Personally, it's not possible.
No, I don't agree with this. No, I don't agree with this argument, because Mr. Kalappa's argument is that it's the wife. How can he say anything to his wife? Do you not think, Mr. Pai, it would have been better had Mr. Siddaramaiah offered to give this land back? Say, since these charges have been levelled, let me give this land back, at least till this inquiry is completed, let the details be known. It was suggested to him that he should give this land back, and yet at that time he thought that I've done nothing wrong, and over the period of time it's just become bigger and bigger. He could have handled this much better.
Like how he
I agree with you. Like Brajesh Kalappa said, you know, Siddaramaiah has a very long history of politics, and he's been a fairly clean person. All right, he's been a fairly clean person, a very tall leader in Karnataka. He's been in and out, and he's been a finance minister for 10 years. And this was a shock to so many of us when we found that, you know, he denies that his wife knew the land has been acquired, because that is something that nobody can believe. He's a very powerful man. Mysore is a place where he's known all over. And nobody can say his wife's land in the village was taken over and given away as sites, and then we found out, then he did this. I think that is a very tall order. That is not plausible. But we don't know what actually happened, what is the sequence, which requires investigation. Whether he should give it back, well, you know, he could have just said, look, I'll keep it in suspended animation till the whole inquiry happens. It should not move. I got the land, but I'm not going to do anything in the land. I'll be in suspended animation. Let the inquiry clean up my name. And that would have been to his credit as a very tall leader. But I know he's trying to justify, add many things to what happened. Certainly does not do him credit and to the reputation that he has. I think that's the main issue.
So yeah, that's the point. You know, if he put it in suspended animation or donated it to someone till the time the inquiry was completed, it wouldn't have looked so bad. The fact that he tries to brazen this out is what makes his position sticky. Otherwise, there were better ways of dealing with this situation.
The fact of the matter, Rahul, you've been covering politics all your life, and Mr. Pai is absolutely right. He's been a clean man. Over the last 40 years, there's not a single scam or any allegation against Siddaramaiah. Let's be honest. Also, as a matter of fact, Bhaskar Anna has been time and again mentioning not just that his party, BJP, is protesting across the length and breadth of Karnataka. And the leader of opposition, R. Ashok, says when there were allegations against Yediyurappa ji, he resigned. Let me remind my BJP friends, 2011, January, the allegations was on Yediyurappa ji. But when did he resign? After 8 months, August 2011, after a Lokayukta court gave a 1,600-page
Now, Bhaskar Rao, that's the point. There is no direct comparison with the Yediyurappa case, because there was a Lokayukt indictment. There was a Lokayukt report against him which found malafide on his part.
Backed evidence. Rahul, 1,600 pages of evidence. So, show me the evidence,
okay.
Mr. Anna.
Mr. Bhaskar Rao.
Before you ask for resignation.
Rahul, when land is acquired by anybody, it is a very wrong message being sent by none less than the Chief Minister that without his knowledge land is acquired. Land is being acquired every day for developmental work. So if thousands of people start taking that argument, God help development. This entire process of acquisition, notification, denotification, though it is full of corruption, a 4-1 notification is sent to the landowner that look, your land is being considered for acquisition. You will be entitled to this compensation. So this argument stating that by mistake or unknowingly it got taken over is
Rajesh Kalappa, that's the point where the argument seems
Basaraj
weak.
Bommai.
If someone with the kind of stature that Siddaramaiah has turns around and says, I didn't know for very long that MUDA was acquiring this land, nobody told me, nobody will buy this argument, you know. If there's a village pradhan and if his land is acquired, everybody will know, and this is the either chief minister or former chief minister, depending on where Siddaramaiah was at different points in that time graph.
See, I'm making a different point. All I'm saying is that if an honest politician who doesn't create property, if he comes and tells his wife, who's seeing that, you know, the remaining everybody in the political milieu has hundreds of crores of rupees in properties, and then I come and tell my wife as an honest politician, look, your brother has given you some property, you surrender it. I think my wife at least will hit me with a broomstick, right? So if I don't know about anybody else, but at least since I can tell you, I can claim on national television that I have not made a rupee from politics, I can tell you my wife will hit me with a broomstick. So therefore, it's from that point of view that I'm telling you, this argument that, you know, he has to go and surrender the land. Who is he to surrender the land?
Okay, Mohandas Pai, very quick final words, I'm out of time. Sir.
Rahul, she's not an ordinary person. She's the wife of a former chief minister, the most powerful person in Mysore district. Imagine.
Right? Now you say, okay, I'm going to give my wife's property also.
Hang on, Brajesh. Hang on, Brajesh. She doesn't have to offer to surrender. He can always say, there is a charge against me and my wife.
No, why should she?
No wife of a politician will take an independent
She's not a public representative.
No,
okay, I think this is best answered in court.
He can say that I will keep it in suspended animation,
correct,
not give back.
I think what Mohandas Pai is saying is quite a sensible solution. You know, that till the time the probe is on, he could have said, I will not touch that land, nothing will happen there. If I lose the case, I give the land back, or he could have donated it to charity, or at least said, I will not touch this land. Let there be a probe and let the investigation results come out. That would have been the proper and fair thing to do, which he didn't do, and now it really becomes a question of public perception and where there are things which are said in favor and said against, and therefore instead of us acting like judge and jury, it's best for the High Court to do its job, and we will report on what comes of it. I want to thank all our guests for joining us.